Going on, my people? It's been a little minute. A little minute. You know, when the real work, when the real work reaches a certain type of pressure point, certain type of level, you know, sometimes the videos cannot be number one priority. So I excuse my absence, but we're back. It's 2025. We're so back. We're in a new studio now, still kitting it all out. So I'm gonna do a little studio tour when it's that time, little MTV crib vibes. Might give you a little preview, but more importantly, right now we're talking about the Agile philosophy, and I'd like to present to you guys a newest addition to the Agile philosophy program.
I mean, the good news is that basically, if you want to do it in time, we would need to just like make a run of books, like pretty much by. I need to send. I need to send production by.
Right now that's out the way, let's talk about what's really important. And when it comes to making your dreams a reality, or even just as simple as becoming the person that you know you want to be, you need to start asking yourself why. You need to start asking yourself the right questions on a constant basis. See, most people don't ask themselves the right questions because they're afraid of the answer. They're afraid of stepping into the abyss. They're afraid of seeing the parts of themselves that they're in denial of. They're afraid of taking accountability for themselves. So what most people do is they blame everything outside themselves. Oh, it's the economy. My family didn't provide me with the right information or the right resources when I was growing up. It was what schools are teaching the people, all these different types of things. Yet there's so many different people that had the same circumstances, sometimes even worse, and they figured a way out, right? When I was younger, I used to always have this, like, my mind was really just like controlled by what we are being fed by the media, by society in general. And I used to always think to myself, like, okay, we have third world countries, you have countries that are poor, you have countries, in Africa or wherever it may be, that society made us think a certain type of way. Poverty, lack of resources, lack of opportunity. But yeah, in all of those different places, all those poverty stricken places, you still had some people that somehow figured a way out. Started off small, got into business, and have become successful business people, successful in different endeavors in life, whether it be sport, other ways, which showed that it's not impossible. I used to always wonder, like, how did they do it? How did somebody that is from Nigeria in a really real that lives in real poverty, no government assistance, somehow figured it out, took that step, that step, that step, that step, and then after they became real successful. And this is probably like the foundation of what made me get into like the stuff that I talk about now, the Agile philosophy. But you need to really start asking yourself why. Start questioning everything that you do. Start questioning everything that you believe. Ask yourself, are these my thoughts? Are these my beliefs? Or did somebody else give them to me? You need to start self regulating and become the true authority over yourself. And I said it before in a past video where I said, people don't want anybody to have authority over them. We have this new thing now where everybody wants to be free, wants to be independent, doesn't want to be told what to do, doesn't want to work for anybody. All these different wants. And there's a big disconnect because people have got all these wants, but aren't even courageous enough, brave enough, or even just realistic enough to do the trade off that comes with that. Nothing in this world is free. Everything is earned, not given. In the context that I'm speaking about, before we have some of smart asses coming to, oh, what about the people that inherit? We don't care about that. Nuance is very important. That's a whole other video that we're going to talk about on a different time. People that are committed to misunderstanding you because they're taking your words literally or whatever like that. We don't even have time for those people there. But people don't want to do the trade-off, and that's where the disconnect comes in, and that's where a lot of time depression and anxiety comes in because they want all these things. I want this, I want that, but they don't deserve it because they haven't done what's required to achieve those things, to attain those things. So when it comes to this live shit, You need to start becoming the authority over yourself. Because once you can truly govern yourself, that's when you can truly be free. And that's when you can truly start making the choices for yourself and start designing yourself and your life in a way that you actually want it to be. But the catch is, to do that, you need to assume responsibility for everything in your life. It, you have to move to a point where now everything is your fault. Even the things that aren't your fault are your fault. Everything that happens in your life, you're responsible for it. Every part of your life, your weight, your network, your intellect, your knowledge, your resources is all your responsibility. And it's very scary for most people. And when you start doing it, it's probably gonna feel a little bit brain numbing and like a little bit hopeless. But listen to me when I tell you that that is how you take your power back. Once you stop blaming things outside of yourself and accept that everything is because of yourself, you now live in a point of truth where you can now actually start improving on those things and start building on those things. Most people don't ever get past that level. They blame everything, so they get stuck where they're at and invest all their energy into doing this and just deflecting and denying and blaming and talking about other people and all this different types of stuff, trying to make up different ways how things are unfair. That person's lucky. That person is fraudulent, or that person is doing things. You guys already know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go into it too much. Once you start regulating yourself and start being an authority over yourself, you will start to question yourself. It's very important to constantly ask yourself questions. Why am I doing that? Why did I react to that in that way? Why, when somebody said something that was objectively true, did I respond so defensively and overlook the fact that what they were telling me was the truth? What is within me that caused that? Why do I talk so negatively about certain people that do certain things? Once you start getting to a place where you start asking these questions, you'll start giving yourself answers, you'll start being truthful with yourself. I always say the one person that you shouldn't lie to is yourself. If you're constantly lying to yourself, you will be in a low frequency because authenticity is the highest frequency. You will start to resent yourself because you know that everything that you tell yourself you're going to do, that you want to do, you will tell yourself that you're full of shit. The subconscious will constantly remind you that you're full of shit, and that will create uneasy feelings within yourself. Once you can stop being a truth seeker yourself, you will start getting the answers that you need about yourself. Once you start getting to know the answers that you need about yourself, you now go into a place of knowing yourself. Once you know yourself, nobody can tell you about yourself because you know yourself. Nobody can tell me that I'm uber aggressive, that I'm confrontational, that I'm these different things because I already know that about myself. I've done enough searching within myself to also know where it comes from. I've done enough research to know how I can channel that and use it for me as opposed to letting it be used against me, which is how it was in my past when I was growing up before I got to know self. So that's just an example, you know? You need to start asking yourself, am I people pleasing? When I'm going out to do these things with my friends, is this something that I actually want to do? Or am I doing this to make other people happy? When I'm having a discussion with people, especially my friends or people at work, when I chime in and I give my take, is that truly my opinion? Is that truly what I think? Or am I saying these things in the hopes that it's going to get validation from somebody, or that I'm, you know, being in line with the group so that I don't offend anybody? When you are in some sort of form of on the other side of things, when you're in some form of conflict with somebody, or something has gone wrong, or you had a misunderstanding, or something, ask yourself, am I maybe the problem in this situation? Could I be wrong? weighing up their point versus yours. It's not that just because it's your own point, it means that you have to just die on that hill. When I was younger, I used to be such a wrong and strong individual. You know, something would. Michael, we saying, yeah, I'm here, I'm here, yeah, we saying, yeah, yeah. Just tell me 5 minutes maximum. Just doing something real quick. Yeah, yeah. Bye. Real life. But could I possibly be wrong? And then if I am wrong, just admit it. You've learned something. A loss is nothing but learning a lesson. And you know, it is what it is. Ain't no sweat. Could I have handled that situation better? What is the situation teaching me? When that thing went wrong, what did I do that allowed that to happen? When somebody crosses you, somebody betrays you, rather than throwing your toys out the pram, oh, that person is so out of order, they're this, they're that, they did me like this, they did me like that. I want you to start asking yourself, what did I do that I allowed that? How was I with that person that allowed them to feel comfortable enough to do that to me? Did I show my hand too much? Did I show too much love too soon? Was I too trusting? Have I gone hard enough today? Could I be doing more things for myself in order to get to the things that I claim I want? Am I maybe doing too much right now and spread too thin, and therefore need to maybe slow down a little bit and rest a little bit more so that my actual work that I do put out can be better and more efficient? You know, asking yourself questions like, what am I currently doing that's holding me back from being the person that I want to be or doing what it is that I want to do? Okay, now that I've answered that truthfully, what steps can I put in place to eradicate that? And once you start doing that, just like anything, just like going to the gym, the more reps you do, the more often that times that you do it, the easier it feels. It hasn't become easier. You've just become stronger. You've just become better. And that's what we're looking for. We're seeking constant improvement. SCI, seeking constant improvement. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for progress. And your world becomes better when you become better. And you can't become better as long as you're lying to yourself. You need to stop being truthful with self. Once you accept where you're truly at, you can start being truthful in your pursuits, in your efforts to improve and get to where you want to be. Don't have all these wants and no matching work ethic to get there. The whole point of this journey of life is to start becoming more and more truthful with self. And if you notice, that's why if you notice, most of the stuff that people do when they're teenagers and even in their 20s, young adults, is to impress other people, whether it be lifestyle choices, going out, the type of things that they do for pleasure, going to the club, going to certain types of holiday destinations, whether it be their fashion choices, things that they choose to indulge in, whether it be like cars, any of these different things, vices, anything that you may think. In these ages, most of the time, people are doing it to be part of a herd, part of a tribe, to impress their friends, to fit in. And if you notice, look at your average adult, 40, like 40 and 40 plus. All of a sudden, you start to notice they just do what it is that they want to do, because finally they're mature enough to just let go of that conditioning. You see them make the clothing choices that they want, doing what they want to do, listen to the music they want to do, go to jazz bars, go to certain types of holidays, things that they want. Not all adults. It's not that you just become an adult and that's automatic. But I'm just saying you can look at for the examples here. You can see it in them, and yet you still have a lot of adults that are just baby adults, 40, and still doing the exact same thing. Ask yourself questions. Peel back the layers more and more. The whole journey of life is to go more inward. The more you go inward and understand in like the inner self and can take control of inner self, the more you can take control of the outer world and mold it to your design. Everyone does it the wrong way around and thinks that they're going to influence the outside world by doing things to the external. It all starts from within and comes outwards. As human beings, we are projectors. So what you need to work on is the information that you have on the inner self that is going to be thrown through the projector. Work on the hardware, on the information on the hardware. Rewire the coding. You're mad at the projector or the screen. You're mad at the world, which is the screen that plays your projection. When all you have to do is open the computer up and fix what's on the computer. Agile philosophy. That's the new agile philosophy sign. See that? AP.